Hello, hi guys. So I'm back with another series, and today we are starting with the Python series for generative AI. Basically, in this series, I'll be covering the from the Python basics to the Python programs and everything, and along with all the necessary libraries which will be needed for the generative AI. So we'll be starting with that, and it will be around we will be having the lengthy series, you can say, but it will be a short videos I am trying to cover so that you can easily to try to understand with the basic hands-on also. Okay, and before that, like if you haven't liked, share and subscribe my channel, please like, share and subscribe my channel. Okay, so in this series we will start with the introduction. If you are new to Python also, so then also this will be fine. Okay, so Python, if I say, so Python is a high level interpreted programming language, basically you can say it. And it is mainly interpreted basically in internally how Python or executes its programs. So basically what it does, that Python internally interprets the program, and some part of that program is compiled, and then suppose in Java, what we do in Java, we save the file with .java. Okay, similarly in Python, what we do, we save the file or save the code with .py extension. Okay, so interpreted checks, okay, this file is containing .py extension, then further it executes it, and then it interpreted one by one, and then it compiles, and then after that based on the libraries or whatever the code is written, so the code is being executed there. So this how internally Python works. And now most of you will be getting like why we are using Python over the Java, because Java is very powerful, and Java is or like Python is also more powerful, you can say. But Java is being most used in most of the banking projects still now, and Java is the crucial language, you can say, or most of the projects still work on the Java. But why we are using the Python in generative AI? Because you can say it that Python is having many of the libraries. So Python is so much powerful as compared to Java, because it contains the libraries which are being used in the machine learning or the generative AI. So that's why Python is being used in the generative AI. And okay, so let's go one by one. So Python was basically created with the Zido van Rossum, and it released in 1991 basically. And key features of Python, if I say, so it is simple and easy syntax. So as compared to Java, in Python you can write the code in very less lines, and you do not just the thing is that while writing the Python code, you need to maintain the indentation, and if you are importing any library, so you need to properly import it, and you need to that library should be used properly. Key points are there while writing the code in the Python as compared to Java. But in Java you need to have that main method, then you need to have the semicolon everywhere, then you have the, then you are using if or else, then you are having the curly braces. So very much you can say that structure wise Java is having so much lines of code or boilerplate code as compared to Python. In Python, what you can do, like you can easily in 2 to 3 lines of code, you can easily write the whole the logic, and your code can be easily be done. And but in Java, if I say, so in Java you the same code will be written into 7 to 8 lines, for example. So that's why Python is simple and easy syntax, interpreted language. Code runs line by line without compilation. As I mentioned, only some part of the code is being compiled. It is an open source, free to use, and supported by a huge community. Cross platforms, it works on Windows, Linux, and Mac OS. It is having the large ecosystem because it is having the thousand of libraries and frameworks available. Like it is having the NumPy, it is having the Pandas, and different libraries are there. It is having the TorchFlow, and multiple libraries are there which are being used in different ways. Okay. So suppose if I say NumPy, so we uses the NumPy library here for having the mathematical calculation which is being used in the large data models or the LLMs. So that's why we uses the NumPy library there. I'm not going in this theoretical part. If you need, I will share this PDF in my chat. Once we get around 4 to 5 sessions of this Python series, then I will upload this PDF. So Python is used in AI and generative AI because it is having rich in AI libraries, great for data processing, supported by a huge community. Okay, so this is the basics of Python. Like Python, as I mentioned, founded in 1991. It is simple and easy, and it is used in generative AI because it is having the rich in AI libraries. Okay, now let's move to the code point, and like how we will be doing the code practice here. So what we'll be doing, instead two ways are there. Either you install the what I say, either you install the software, that is the PyCharm you have if you are having, Or otherwise what you can do, you we have that collab.research.google.com. It is a Jupyter notebook being presented by the Google, and it is very easy because what it does, that it creates a new notebook in the drive, in the Google Drive, and simply you can practice there. So that is the major advantage of having this. So what I will do, I will try to cover as much as in the collab, because it is very useful when we will work with the generative AI, because and it is having its own ZPU, and everything is can be done here, as compared if we are using in the PyCharm. So we need to sometimes manually install the libraries. So that's why we will work with the collab. And this is the cloud based integrated IDE, you can say, provided by the Google for running the Python and this generative AI code. So what you need to do, basically you need to create a new notebook in Drive. Okay, if you are if you want, you can like work with PyCharm also. That is also the similar way. But or if you need any guidance in installing the PyCharm, let me know. Otherwise you can easily install the PyCharm from the Python official site. Okay, I will mention the site in the description. So this is the notebook we have created in the Google Drive. And now what we will name it, that particular what you can say, we should name that particular file name, or that particular notebook what we have created. So suppose we have named it that learn Python session, suppose 1. Okay, and now let us zoom it. Okay, so this is the collab privacy notice and everything, you can accept it. Then what we will do, we will try to code it here simply. Okay, what happened? Why it is asking for the AI Gemini? Huh. So suppose our first code, or the simple code which we do in the Java also, when we just learn the Java also. So instead of println, we have the print method here. Okay, print hello world. That's it. Okay, do not use the exclamation, as we need to have the single inverted comma, then only we can use the exclamations. Let us run this first. Okay, so why it is giving the error? Because it is a type of string, and what we need to do, we need to mark it with the single inverted comma. Yeah, so just try to run and try to play with this, and you will get to know much more about it. Suppose we need to do 2 plus 3 here, and it will directly give you the output here. See, 2 plus 3, 5 is there. Okay, similarly you can write your own code also. And suppose we were doing, we were doing the print hello world na. So in that also, two ways are there. Either you write it directly, or suppose we want to have the exclamation mark also. Let us try this also. See here, so this is the simple way. So this was the basic, and we will be writing each and every code here only. And in the next lecture we will be try to cover with the list, set and tuple. Okay, till that, try to just have a good basic hands-on on that, and try to run the simple program here, or try to print, or try to do as much explore this, like what is the code, how it is working, it is being connected to Python 3, and like try to explore. Okay, we will get back into the next video. Yeah, that's it from my side. Please like, share and subscribe.
Hey guys, so today we are discussing another concept in Python, that is variables in Python. You must have heard about variables in each and every language, whether you have studied Java, C, C++, C Sharp. So everywhere you have heard about variables. So what are variables? So variables are the storage place, or the references, you can say, which points to the object, or which holds the value of any object, you can say. So those are the variables. So how variables stores the value, and which type of values are being stored into Python? So that today we will be seeing it, and different format, and different data type, how the variables can store it. For example, we have defined a equals to 5 here. Okay, and now we want to print directly a, or directly you can view, we can call the a method, a reference variable here, and it will show you the value of a. So the value is being shown as 5 here. Okay, now the second way is that as we are using the Jupyter notebook using the collab.research.google.com, so through that you can easily just write the variable name. If it is a single variable name, so it will print the value, but if there are multiple variable names, then we need to use the print method. So this goes for each and every program you are doing out in the collab, so that you need to take care while writing it. So now if you can see it, a equals to 5 is stored. Okay, so a is the reference and b is the, and 5 is the object. So how it will be getting stored? So there should be inside the memory, there should be something, a box where the 5 value is being stored, and a is the reference variable which is being pointing to the 5. Okay, now what we will do, we will add one more variable here, that is b equals to 5 also. Okay, and now we want to print the b and a both. So now what we can do, b here we are printing it, and a here we are printing it. Okay, so let us run this. See here, a is also 5 and b is also 5. So now the picture changes. There should be a single box whose value is as of now like 5, and a is also pointing to 5 and b is also pointing to 5. Okay, so both both reference variables are pointing to the same box whose value is 5. Now later on what happens, that b value is being changed here. So b points to some other variable, so it again a new box will be created, and b will be pointing to that box, and a is pointing to still to the old box only. Okay, now that box is having some id or some address, you can say. So how we can check that particular address of that particular box where a is pointing? So there is a method in python, that is id is being called here. Just call this method, and you will be able to see that both the boxes where a and b are pointing, it is having the same address. It should have the same address, right? See here, it we have called the id b and id a, and both are having the same address. Now what we will do, we will change the value of the b and points to 6 now, and now we will try to print. See here, both are having different address, because a points to 5 is still, but b has changed its box and now it points to 6. So its value is something like that. So this how the address pointing is being done internally inside that memory. So we can have different values and different ways of printing it. For example, now we want to print that both values should come into a single line. So for that, what we can do it, a comma b, simply you need to write in, both the values will print into a single line. See here, 5 and 6. Now later on what happened, that a value was also being changed to 9 and b is 6. Now again print a comma b, and we will remove here from print. Okay, so now what will happen, now a is pointing to 9 and b is pointing to 6, but what happened to this 5? Because this 5 was already being there into a box and no variable is being assigned to the 5, right? But b is using 6, b is pointing to 6 box, and a is pointing to the 9th one. So what happened to 5? So now comes the now garbage collector comes here into the picture, and what it does, that it clears the unused variables of the box which exists into memory. So that is the smartest move here of garbage collector, that it will delete the old box or the variables which are not being referenced by any variable. So that's why it will be getting deleted here. Now for in future one more variable has came, and now this contains the string, and the string is, for example, Jacob. So strings in python can be written like with the single quote or with the double quote. Both way strings can be written. So a comma b, now c also will be getting printed here. See here, 9, 6 and Jacob is being there. Okay, so this how you can define the variables. Like integer one we have checked, we have checked for the strings one. Now we will do what we will do, we will add the point values of the float values here. So it should print the float values also, like 9.56 Jacob. Okay. Now what else we can do? For string also, like what happens, like in the future a new string has came, and it also contains the same value similar to C1, that is Jacob only. And now we will add one more variable in the print method, and we will call the print method here. So you are able to see that A is 9.5, B is 6, but C and D are Jacob, and both are having the same value. So here also what will happen, it will point to the same, what I say, it will point to the same box only. If you know about Java, so in Java what happens, that we have the string constant pool concept, right? So similar way in Python also there is a string constant pool inside the memory, where like the if both the strings are the smaller words and both points to the same box or word, so it will be pointing the same address. For example, if we try to print the value of the C and D address values, like what are the address values of the C and B? And ID of D, so it should be same. See here, 192 192, so it should be the same address values of the C and D of Jacob, because it points to the same box. But there is a smartest, as Python is very smart, so what it being done, for example this was a single word, now it will be a sentence. For example, in future it is a sentence, you have added some more words here, and now it's a sentence. Is a very good boy, for example. Okay, so now what we will try to do here, when we try to print the address of the C and D, so it should be the same, right? But it will not be. That's how Python is very smart here. And now if you are able to see, it is pointing to C address is 76, and D address is 952. So now because it is a become a sentence and contain more words, it is not a single word, so it will change the address, it will not point to the same box. So this how like Python works here. Now what we will do, we'll be doing it, we will write our first program here. For example, we will be writing the length of the string, how we can find it. Okay, so John, okay, Johnny. And now simple program we will write, call the print method, length of the string is, okay, I think we plus is not allowed. So what we have done, we have added the plus sign, but it will be not working here, right? So what we'll be doing here, we will be removing the plus sign, as it is not Java, it is Python. So the plus will not work here. We need to add the comma here, and we not need to call directly here s dot length. We need to pass the length, and inside that we need to pass the string variable. And now it will show you the actual value. Length of the string is 6. So this how you can write your first program in this Python. Length of the string, how you need to find. Now the second code. Second code, for example, now you need to find the, there is a famous question in Java, like especially asked for the freshers perspective, like swapping of two variables value without using the third variable. So this we will try you doing with the help of the Python here. So a comma b, for example, is 10 comma 12 is the values. We are printing also before swapping how the values look here, and we will not use the third variable here. Okay, now what we will do, we will need to swap the value without using the third variable. This question has been asked. Okay, so what we will do, a comma b equals to b comma a, we will do it. So the values will be swapped here. Now if I try to print it here, a comma b, variable values before swapping. Okay, and here variables after swapping. Now we will run it. Okay, so variable values before swapping was 10 comma 12, but variable values after swapping 12 comma 10. So this how like variables will be swapped. Just we need to replace like b comma a will be called first, so values will be swapped. So see here, this is the simplest way, simplest program of swapping the values of the variable in the Python. We have added the print statement, otherwise it the code is of only of three lines, if I say. So this is how like values of variables and the difference, and everything in Python is an object. Just remember this: the values which you are storing into this reference variable are the object inside the Python. So these are the site, like either you can study from W3 school, or you can, I will recommend to study for geeks, and like how the rules for the naming the variables we can have, like age equals to 21, like for example we have the rules of the variables, naming variables inside Java. Similar way we have the inside the Python also, like underscore color, this is allowed, and username underscore, this is how allowed, contains an hyphen, starts with the digit. So these are the basic rules assigning values to the variables, and how we can print all the, and how we can assign the same value to all the variables. So this how you can cover it. So just practice it, and this we have already covered, that if x equals to 5 and y equals to 5, so both will be pointing to the same object. This is an object, and these are the reference variable. And now x y points to 5 and x points to geeks. So this old 5, what it will happen, that it will be garbage collected once the y is also being pointed to a new variable, and 5 is not being no longer in use, so it will be garbage collected. Deleting a variable, so we have the delete keyword, like we want to delete a variable, so what it will happen. Okay, this we have done. Now delete, we will call it s, and so this variable should be deleted. See here, print s, it is saying s is not defined because that variable has been deleted. Length of the string is being printed. After that, you are trying to print the s, but s is deleted. So we have the delete keyword also here. Swapping of variables we have checked. Counting characters in the string of the length of the string. How we can do it? So this way, just try to do some basic programs in which you can do not require any loops and everything. So you will easily learn how the variables works here. Okay, yeah, that's pretty much in this session. We will be back in another session.
Hello guys. Yeah, so I am back with another session, and basically today in the last lecture we have covered some basics of Python, and I have shown you like how we will be running the simple print statement, or simple basic I have shown in the Colab. We will be running all the code and everything of Python. So what we will be doing? So today we will start with some basics of strings. Then we will go with list. Then we will go with tuple, and then we will go with set. So this is the basic agenda, and before that, if you haven't like, share and subscribe my channel, please like, share and subscribe. Okay, so now suppose this is the one code block. Now if you want to write a separate code, so another code block you can write it here, and what you can do, suppose in the last lecture we have just tried to cover this print statement. Okay, suppose now what we want to do, suppose this is some temperature is there, and that particular value you are assigning is 25, and then two ways, either you use the print statement, or either you just pass a temp here, write it, and try to execute it. So see here, we are getting the output as 25, so we have stored 25 variables in the temperature, and we are trying to print. Other way is that suppose if we want to print the multiple values here, so we will, what we will do, we will use the print statement directly. So this is the first part. Now suppose we want to have some string stored inside this. Okay, now text suppose is there, and inside that, in the single inverted comma, we are trying to store learning Python. Okay, then what we will do, we will firstly we will try to just print it. So either you use the text directly, you write it. So what it will do, it will print you the learning Python. See here, learning Python is coming here. Now, suppose what else for we want to do it. If you use the print statement, so this learning Python will come with without any single quotes. Okay. Now, suppose what else what we want to do it. We want to have that particular. Suppose like in the array also we have the indexes, right? So in here also this value is being stored into the index part. Like it is 0, it is 1, it is 2, it is 3, it is 4. Okay. Now suppose we want to have that from 0 till the range of let's suppose we want to print the learn only. So text 0 1 2 3 4 is there, and is coming 4. Okay. So instead of 4 we have n plus 1, so this will be 0 to 5, and now we will execute it. So we should get the learnness. Okay. So this is there. Suppose you do not give any the end range, and you just try to print it. Let's test. So you will get the whole line. Now suppose you want to have from Python. So 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, and from 8 we are starting. Suppose 8. Now let us check what is being printed. See here, Python is being coming. So this how we can play with this string, and with the help of this index value we can easily pass the range, and then we can have, suppose at 8 is the statement what is being coming. So it should print the p single one. Okay. Now suppose like 0 to like the whole length is being there. Now suppose what we want to do it, suppose we want to have the minus 1. So let's check what it will try to print here. It will print the last element of the. Now suppose if you want to have the last minus 4 here, so it will print from the last t here. So this is the magic of Python, that from the, if you pass the negative value or negative index, so it will print from the last one. So that is one thing. Now suppose we want, what we want to do, we want to have check the length of this particular text. Like what is the length of this string? We have the length function in Java, right? So similar way we will try to do here also. So the length is being here is 14. Okay. So that is the magic, or that is the beauty of Python, that you can easily check the length. And apart from this, like what else we can do it. Suppose this is the string part. So suppose we have this is the one string. Now let me add some new block. Now what we will try to do, we will pass some special character. Suppose we have the string name as txt, and then what we will try to do, instead of single quote we can pass the double quote also. But let me show this example with the single quotes. Like the name of our channel, like MG's Backend Bootcamp. Okay. Now what we have done, we have started with one code, and we have added one code, but it is giving it is being closed here only. Why? So let us print first. Suppose we print this text, we just directly do it. Let us check what happens here. So it is giving the error because unclosed string literal is there, right? So not what we can do, we can have one, suppose we want to cancel this single quote here. So what we can do, we can have this single slash n after this space. Okay, it is not being cancelled. What happened? What we can do here? Okay, so we are getting the error. So instead of doing this, what we can do, instead of, we do not need to pass the slash n, basically what we can do, simply we can pass the slash forward slash, and it will what it will do, it will try to cancel this single apostrophe, and it will try to print it. Let us print this. So see here, MG's Backend Bootcamp is working. So what is this single or forward slash do? It cancels this single quote, and you are able to run this. Now suppose instead of using this, we can use the double quote also here, double quotes. So here, so it is working. Let us remove this also. Okay, so it is working here. So this we can do with the string part. Now let us move to the what I say. We will start with the list as I mentioned, and then we will do some basic hands-on on list. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so list in Python, if I say, so similar in Java, we have the collection inside that we are having the list, okay? So inside Python also we are having the collection of ordered elements that can be changed or that is mutable. So that collection is called the list of ordered elements, okay? Suppose my list you define 10, 20, 30, 40, and when we try to print it, so it will give the output 10, 30, 20, 30, 40. Features of list here in Python, we have that list will be ordered, and then it allows the duplicate values. It is mutable, it can modify, we can easily modify the elements by using the append methods, or by insert method is there, so that we can use it, and directly we can have that particular list can be incremented. So see here we are trying to append it, so that is that list part. Now let us move to the coding part, and then we will try to move to another data structure. Okay. Yeah, so let us add one more code block here. Then we will try to create one list. Suppose nums is there, then we are trying to create a list as mentioned there in the example. So 45, any random integers I'm adding it, 77, 88, 99. Okay. Then we will print this list. See here. So this is the list we have created, and this is how we have like we are trying to print it here. Now the suppose the thing is there here, that as I mentioned, that list always will be the sorted order. So now what we will do, we will suppose add here 7. Now let us check whether it is able to sort. It will not able to directly sort it. Basically what it will do, it will maintain the order of the elements, it will not directly sort it. So instead of that, what we can do, we have one sort method is there, so we can call that particular. Okay, just a moment, directly we can't print it, so nums dot sort we will do. What happened, why it is not taking it? Yeah, so basically directly we, if you are trying to sort it, so we should have that curly braces method. Okay, then what we will try to do, we will print it, otherwise it will directly not try to print it. Actually I was doing wrong, so that's why it is not able to print it earlier. Now if I try to print it, so it will able to sort it. And the other thing part, what I mentioned, that it maintains the insertion order, it doesn't sort it internally. When we try to insert it, like the order in which the elements are being inserted, the same way it will maintain the insertion order, it will not directly internally sort it. So we have the sort method, and we use that particular. Now suppose we want to append it. Okay, append, and then we want to add suppose 100. Now if I try to print it, so one more element should be added here. Okay, just we have many methods here inside list, so that's why it is being mentioned that lists are mutable in Java, in Python, sorry, not in Java. Okay, see here. Now suppose we want to check like how many times that particular method is been coming, so there is a count method. Okay, and now suppose we add one more element here, 66, 66 we have mentioned twice. Okay, now we want to check how many times that particular count method is been coming here. Okay, so that also we can do easily here. So how many times this particular element is coming? So what we are doing, that using the count, but here we are not assigning or we are not storing it here somewhere. So and when we are trying to print the nums here, so this count doesn't affect the original list. Basically we want a count, so what we will do, we will just copy this here from, or cut it here, and then paste it here, and now we will try to print here. So this 66 was coming as 3 times. So this is the thing that we can easily do it. We can check the count of that particular variable, and other things as I have done earlier also in the string also. What we can do, we can just try to print the suppose second element of that particular list. So it is 0, 1, 2, so it should be 7 here. So see here 7 is being here. Okay, now simple way, now we want to pass the range, like from this particular range to this particular range, only that range only elements we wanted. So 0, 1, 2, from 7, 3, 4, 5. So from 7 to 99, as I mentioned, the end range is end range plus 1. Let us print this also. So 7, 8, 99 is coming here. Okay, so this is the thing we can do with the list, and we can use the append, we can use the sort, we can use that other than methods are there. Suppose list dot, what we can do, we can have that pop method. So this pop method, how it works, it works the data structure, if you have studied in Java, if you have we have used it in Java also, that is stack. So it works on the concept of last in first out. So the same way pop also works here. Okay, we need to pass the bracket, I guess. So the last element is 66 is being removed. See here, 166, 2 were there, so 1 is being removed here. And it when trying to pop here, so it has printed the element that this particular pop or element has been removed here. Okay. Now suppose we want to do the min max also. Let us play that also. We have the methods. Suppose max nums. So 99 is there. Similarly, we have min method here. So 7 is there. Okay, nums dot sort we have already used. Now what we can do it, basically we can have the in range also, I have already told you. Let us tell that this here also we can do access the elements in the reverse order by using the -1. Okay, 66 is there. Suppose -4 we have added the range. Let us see what happens here. So it will give the error, or it will give this -1 2 3 4. It should print, but it will, I guess we can't directly access here. Okay, leave this part here. Okay, so directly we can't access it, because what happens, we are trying to traverse from the reverse order, like from -1 we are trying 66, and that we are trying to do it here. But Python always like it will try to move in the forward direction, so it will get an issue, so that it is giving the blank list instead of having. So what else we can pass, we can pass one more -1 here, and now we can check it. See, 66 is coming. So 1 and 2. So as I mentioned, the end range is n plus 1. So with the, when we are trying to traverse with the help of the negative in ranges here, so we need to pass one more element as a -1, suppose here, and it will work then. Okay. Then after that, what we else we can do? Suppose this is the list. Now let us play one more way. Like this list can store any values. Suppose 7.1 is there, then we have the denim string values is also there. Okay, then -4 is also there. Okay, so let us print this list and check what happens. See, the whole list is being printed. So this tells here that in the list in the Python can accept the various types of data types inside the particular in a single list. So that is the major advantage you can see here. Now suppose we want to add two lists. Suppose this was the list 66. This is the number list. Now 65. Suppose 64. Okay. Okay. Now we have one string list also. So for string list, suppose person is there, person is the list. If you see here, it is very easy. We can just define that particular variable name, and we are just with the square bracket we are defining the list here. In Java, you need to write list of particular data type, integer or string, and then after that you can easily or access it. And another advantage, as I shown here, that we can have the data types of different data types, like integer is also allowed, float is also allowed, or string is also allowed. Okay. Now suppose person we are trying to add. So then suppose that we have Ben, and then we have suppose John. Okay. Now what we will try to do, we will define one more variable or one more list here. Then mix equals to we can if you want to add all the elements into a single list, then we have nums plus person here. And when we try to print this mix, so it will store all the elements of the both the list. See here, the number list and the person list. So that is the beauty of here. You can say that both the lists are being elements are being stored in a single list. Now let us try to store the list of list. So instead of adding both the list, what we can do, we can have suppose nums comma person. Let us check what happens here. It gives, see here. So it is giving the list of list, like inside list of mix we are having one list of number, and then we are having the one list of person. Now suppose if you want to try to what I say, if you want to try to access the element here, okay, and how you will try to do access it. Suppose this mix 0, so what it will give the whole list of the number here. Okay, got it. Now suppose we want to access the any particular element here. Suppose we want to access the element here 3 1, so 0 1 2, we need to pass the index as 2 here. Okay, we are getting both the I think directly we can't access it. We need to check. So instead of directly we can't access it here, what we need to do, we need to have 0 here, then we have suppose we want to access, as I mentioned, second element 0 1 2. So we 76 want to access it, so this how we can access it. That is what we are doing, we were doing the slicing part. When we are passing the range, so that is called the slicing. So that is directly we can't access it, so we need to pass try to access using the 2di. Similarly, we want to access the second element here 0 1 2, that is John. So we need to pass it as a 2D array, and then we can exprint it by particular. So here John is coming. Okay. So this is the thing. Now suppose we want to have like what type of this particular list is there. Okay. So type, and then we need to pass this. There is a special function which tells that this is the list, or this is a tuple, or this is a dictionary. Okay. So that we use the class type here. See here, it is showing that this type is nums is of list type. Now if I try to check for mix, so that is also will be showing as the list type. So this is the list part. Just try to do as much as hands on, then only you will be able to learn, or you will be have a good hands on it. Like this how the list works, this how strings works, and this how we can easily run it in the Java, in the Python, sorry. Okay, and type we have already done. Now we will move to the tuple part, the second data structure what we will be learning here. That is the tuple. So in list we are using the square bracket, but in tuple we will be using the round brackets here for identifying the tuple. So that is the distinguish between the list and the tuple. And in tuple we can tuple elements are immutable, we can't change the elements in the tuple. Okay, let us go there also in the theory part, then we will. Yeah. So the second data structure what we are studying today, that is tuple. So tuple is an ordered collection, is also an ordered collection. Just remember this thing, don't be confused here. That ordered collection is that particular collection where the elements are being inserted in the same insertion order. It doesn't mean that it will be sorted here. Like in Java also we have some collection as which maintain the insertion order. So similarly here also in Python, list, tuple, these are the ordered collection. It maintains the insertion order, but it cannot be, as I mentioned, list can be changed with using the different methods. But in tuple we cannot change it, as tuple is immutable. So once we have defined the tuple, so we can't change it, and we can have, like, suppose we have defined the tuple, we are using this what I say, that this round back brackets, and then we can easily print the tuple. Okay, tuples are ordered, it allows the duplicates, immutable, cannot modify it. And we can access using the index, as we are doing inside the list also. So that tuple. Okay, let us go with the coding part. Okay. Okay, so where we were, that what we can do, we can easily, as I mentioned, that list can be easily changed because lists are mutable. So what we will do, we will try to change this first element with the some other element. So list nums of 0, we will try to just change it, suppose 55 instead of 45. Now when we try to print this nums, so let us check what we get it. Say instead of 45 we are having the 55 here. Okay, that is the magic, that list are mutable, so that we can easily change it. Now suppose we are having some other methods also in that, in list, what else we can do in nums, suppose there. So nums dot insert, suppose we perform it, and here in 0 1 2, instead of 76 we will keep it as 150. Okay, Then we will try to print the nums. Okay, and one more thing I haven't tell here, that for the comment part we use the hash here. So to try to comment, okay, or try to put the comments as similar way we try to use in what comments in the Java here. Okay, so if you try to print the nums here, so see here, instead of 76 we are using the 150 here. So that is that we are having the insert method, and then apart from this we are trying to change the element directly also. So these things we can do it. And suppose we want to, what we can do, we can just want to remove it. Suppose let me tell you remove also, different method is there. Okay, so remove if you are trying to do, and we want to remove any particular element. Suppose we want to remove the 64 here, and then print nums here. See here, 64 has been removed, it was being there earlier. Okay, so that is that is why list is tell where we tell the list as mutable. And now move to the tuple part. How we can go to the tuple? Okay, so for tuple what we will do, we will try to have one more code block here, so that we can easily do that. Okay, just click on plus icon, and now what we will do here, suppose we defined as tup anywhere, anywhere variable name you can take it. Okay, I am mentioning tuple as tup. Okay, then 23, suppose 45, any list we are taking it, and 78 is taking, and now we will print this tuple. And tuple, as I mentioned, we can easily we cannot easily change the elements, as tuple are immutable. Say here. Okay, now print the type of the tuple. It should tell that this is the tuple. Okay, the type is being telling that this is the tuple. Now see here, only two methods are there. We cannot do the insert, append, or remove or something like that easily in the tuple, because tuple elements are immutable. Once we have defined, we cannot change it. Okay, let us check this count method. Inside the print only we should check it, otherwise it will not show. So tuple dot count we are doing, and the element suppose 45 is there, and we are checking how many times 45 is coming. See here, so it is coming twice. So that is the thing that we can have it. And this is the tuple, and tuple, as I mentioned, the list and tuple both maintains the insertion order, but the thing is that list is immutable. We can easily change or access the elements in the list, but in the tuple what we can do, we can just check the count, and we cannot change the elements, as tuples are immutable. So that two data structures are done. Now we will move to the set part. Okay, now the third data structure is set in Python. Okay, so set, as you know, in Java also, it doesn't allow the duplicates. It is the collection of unique elements. So the similar properties being maintained here also in Python. But the thing is that list, for list we are using the square bracket. For tuple we are using the round brackets, and for set we are using the curly brackets here. And if you try to store the duplicates here, so it will not allow it. So that is the major advantage. And set is also mutable, as compared, as similar to way to list, that we can add or remove the elements also in set. So that is the example. Okay, let's move to the coding part. Where is the code? Okay, now as I mentioned, for set we can do set, suppose set 1, we have defined the name, so that and then apart from this we can have the curly bracket 23, 24, 23, 24, then 25, then 67, then 88, then 24 again. Okay, now we will try to print the set here. See here, it is not allowing the duplicates, and it is giving you. Okay, then apart from this, like what else we can do it? Suppose we have the type, so let us check the type, like that this particular data structure we have defined is of set type or not. Okay, so this is the set type. Now what else we can do? Similar way we are having the add method. Suppose we want to add it. So first thing what we will do, we will have the set one dot add method. Then we will try to add suppose 100 here. Then we will try to print the set one. See here 100 is being added. Then set one dot, let us do some other methods. So see here you are able to see we are having the intersection method, we are having the remove method, pop method, and then we are having the union method also. So we are having multiple methods. So let us define some new sets and then we can play on it. Leave this part, we have one more code block suppose, and we will try to define two sets here. Suppose A is there, and then we will define 1 2 comma 3 is there. Then another set we are defining, B is there, suppose 4 comma 5 comma 6 is there. Then print A dot, suppose we are doing the union B. I guess we need to pass into the bracket, then it will work. Okay, then what we will do, we will try to run this. See, so union is being done. Now what we will try to do, we will try to do some intersection. So 4, suppose 4 5 2 is there, and then 3 is there, and then here we will try to do the intersection. So these are the mathematical operations what we try to do in the maths also. Union, intersection, may you will be aware. So that's similar way we can do with the sets also. So see here 2 and 3 is coming. So this is the beauty of set also, that we can perform some mathematical operations also here. Now what else we can do, suppose we want to check that particular method is belong to set or not. So that is there in the list also, I haven't told you, just try in the list also. So suppose we are having 2 is there, okay. So 2 in A, so it should print true, because 2 is already being exist in the A set, it is printing true, okay. Now suppose the element which is not being there, so it should print the false here. See here it is printing the false. So these things we can do it. Now let us write one simple code here. Suppose nums is there, we are defining one list and we will try to convert into the set here. Suppose 30, 40 and then 50 is there. And what we will do, we will try to define one set, suppose unique is there, and then we will try to convert this list into nums. So nums, sorry, list into set, and then we will try to print the unique here. If you see here, we are not following any indentation, it is a simple one. But as soon as we try to write the code, so we will try to we need to follow the indentation. And the main thing is that in the collab.research it is very easy to maintain the indentation, so that's why I've chosen collab for learning it and for explaining you also guys. So unique is to equals to set nums. Now it should does not give the duplicates and it should give the set elements here. So 40, 10, 50, 20 and 30 is there. So here 10 is coming once. Now if I try to check the type of that particular set, if it is what is there. So it is showing that unique is the set. We have converted successfully. We have converted this list into the set. So these are the basics. Just try to play with all the methods and let me know also if you have any doubts in the comment section. And we will be back with another session. Till that, please like, share, and subscribe my channel. Yeah, that's it from my side. Yeah, thanks, guys. Hello, yeah, hi guys. So I'm back with another session of Python series, and today we'll be covering the session on dictionary. Basically, dictionary is a data structure, data type in Python, where we used to store the data in the form of the key and values. You might be aware that we are using the key and values in hash map also in Java. So similar, we have dictionaries into the Python. So and before that starting it, like if you haven't watched my previous sessions, please go and watch it. In my previous sessions I have covered a basic of info of the Python, and then I have covered the like what is list, what is set, and what is tuple in Python by giving these examples, and how we will be practicing with more with the Python code on the collab feature or collab drive. And this collab is the basically a Jupyter notebook where where it easily connects with the Python 3, and then we can easily like able to run the code, and it will be easily compiled. And most of the libraries are already being installed here, so for learning the generative AI or for building it, so it is very useful. So that's why we are using collab here. But apart from this, like if you have any other software, so you can use that also. And as I mentioned, like in my previous video of the Python series which I have started, I didn't got received maximum, not much response. Not sure if you are aware of Python or you are not interested in learning Python. So if you are new to Python also, I will say that try to learn and watch more and more and do the practice and hands-on. Like it will be a very good for you. And apart from this, like if you are already being experienced to Python, and you have already been working with the Python and you know the Python, so then also you can just have a look on the videos at least. And apart from this, like for this sessions, I will be sharing the quizzes also on my YouTube channel on the post, so that for each session there you can get a maximum practice of like how list work, how set works, how tuple works, and how dictionaries works. And okay, let's get started. And before that, like if you haven't like, share and subscribe my channel, please like, share and subscribe my channel. Okay, so we have covered list, set, and tuple. In list, I have mentioned as that we uses the square bracket. Okay, for list, and list are mutable, which can be easily changed. And then we have the tuple, which we uses the round brackets, and tuples are immutable, so that we can't easily change or insert the content. And then after that, we have covered the set one. So in set we uses the curly braces, and then in set duplicates will not be allowed, insertion order will be preserved. But the thing is that duplicates will not be allowed, and the major advantage of using the set is that it doesn't allow any duplicates. So these things we have covered. And apart from this, like we have covered how we can convert a list into a set, that also we have seen into the last lecture. Now today we'll be covering the dictionary. And before that, like I haven't much gone deeper on to the Python basics, like how we take the input from the Python, how we like how many data types are there and everything. So that will be covered after this session or into the next session. So this session will be totally focusing on the dictionary. So the major part was that, like if you are already been learning the Java, so you will be aware about list and set. So that's why I started with list, set, dictionary, and tuple, so that it will be easy for you to learn this new language if you are new to it. Okay, so in the last lecture, as I mentioned, we were covering the set. So in set, what we were doing it, basically suppose we are defining one data, and suppose using the curly braces we are defining suppose we are defining some set values of a string type. Okay, so the first one is suppose Jacob. Okay, then and one more thing, like as I mentioned earlier also, that for defining the strings we can use the single quotes also, and for and double quotes also, both are valid in Python. Okay, so here it's like Jacob, John, and then we have defined. So this is set. Okay, now if I try to print it data and try to execute it, so this will be printed in the den Jacob and John over here. Okay, and then after that, like now what we want to have the dictionary one. So in dictionary what we have, so in dictionary we just need to have the key and value, as I mentioned. So key already we have having. Now we want to add the values here, suppose. So 0, then 1, then 2. So this Jacob is the key, that is of a string data type, and this 0 is the value. Similarly, John is the key and 1 is the value, and then is the key and 2 is the value. Now if we print it, see here. So this is the major advantage of that like how set is converted into dictionary. And apart from this, like if I focus on the dictionary data type, like where we exactly use it. So in the real time, in the AI ML, when we will be learning it, so there we uses the configuration. We have lot of configuration, and suppose we want to update some configuration or change the configuration, so there we uses this dictionary is very useful in Python. And apart from this, like suppose the real time, if we want to return some JSON response also, so that also being managed by using this dictionary only. So this is the JSON, you can say, right? This is the key and this is the value. And similarly, like these are the major uses of dictionary. And apart from this, like now let us check how we can access using the key and value. So suppose we want to have print and we want to access the key. And so for accessing the key, the one more thing here, like in dictionary we access the key, no indexing is there, we access the key or the data based on the key and value. And in list, set and tuple, we were accessing through the index one. But here we don't like try to access it using indexing, as indexing is not valid here. So we can directly access it with the help of the key and value. So suppose we want to print the value of the Jacob here. See here, so for the Jacob value we have having the 0. And one more way is here, suppose we want to have one that get method. If you are aware, if you have used the hash map, so you must be aware about the get method. So that also we can use it here. And we can just pass the Jacob, that particular key, suppose. See here, so this is that we can easily access two ways are there. Either you pass the particular key name if you are aware. If you are unsure in the real time like what will be the key, so you passes use the get method. And this get method is very powerful, as similar to way in the hash map, because it also uses the hashing mechanism for looking up in the dictionary, and then after that it returns the value for that particular key. And suppose one more scenario is there. Suppose if there Jacob or that particular key is not exist. Suppose Mohan is there, is the key we are passing, and now we are trying to access it. So it should throw the error, or it will pass the none, because that particular key does not exist. So instead of passing the none, what we can do it. So suppose here, if I try to, let us try here also. Yeah, here when we are trying to access that particular key directly with the square bracket, so here that at that point it will throw the error. So instead of that, what we can do, we can have one comma, and we can pass value, or suppose we can pass key not exist, something like that. Let us run this. Okay, directly I guess we can't pass it here. So what we will doing it, we will pass the exact key here, and we will pass this message or something like that here. Just a moment, because this is the directly we are passing that particular key na. So here we can't pass it. So what we will be doing it, here we will be passing this custom message if that particular key does not exist. So that is why it is always being said that we should use the get method when we are unsure about like that particular key is there or not in inside the dictionary. So we uses the get here, and we can mention here like key not exist. See, as Mohan does not exist in this data dictionary, so it will return the key not exist the message. Instead of none, it will return the key does not exist. Okay, and apart from this, let us try some more hands-on on that. Now suppose we are and one more thing is there, like this key can be of string type, number type, and tuple type, but this can not be of list type, as lists are mutable which can easily be changed. So list are not allowed as key, but these values can be list here. Let us see there. Suppose ds is there, and what we'll be doing, and like we have passed one string, and now what we can do it, we will be using the tuple here. Suppose gig, and apart from this, okay, something like that. And here what we'll be doing it, this is the key, and suppose this is the value, and now we will try to print the dictionary. So here, so that is allowed now. So this is the tuple, as I mentioned, like tuples are what we say immutable, so the content is not changed here. Now suppose if I pass this here, now list has been passed in the key, and then when we are trying to print it, so it will not allow it. Okay, because lists are mutable, so it can be easily changed. So in the key, lists are not allowed, only tuples, strings and numbers are allowed. Okay, now what else we can do, we can have some more examples. So what we can do, suppose let us take one more example. Okay, so now I will take one more example. Suppose pipeline is there, something I am defining some configuration of the real time. So what we will doing here, we will be passing this as a two dictionary inside that with one two different keys. Suppose we have one key as GPT-4. Okay, and then after that, what else we can do, and its values, and we are keeping it as a like the dictionary. So one more thing I had forgot to mention, that inside dictionary we can have dictionary to dictionary, like inside one dictionary we can have one more dictionary, like that. And inside that we can have another dictionary also, so like multiple dictionaries can be there in one dictionary. So suppose GPT-4 is the key, and inside that again we are creating one more dictionary. So suppose layers, and we have defined its value as 40, then params, and suppose it is 67, then we have heads, something like that, and then we have 78. Okay, so this is the key, and this dictionary is the value of GPT-4. Okay, now what we will do, suppose this we are defining something as another model of configuration, and then we are keeping it as layers, and then we are keeping its value is suppose 45, then params, and then suppose 57, then heads and 13 suppose. Okay, now what we will do, we will try to print it. And how we will be accessing it, we will be passing that particular dictionary name. Suppose first thing, where it is pipeline config, pipeline config, and then we will try to pass that particular key for which value, for which whose values we need, or want to access it. So we will use like that way only, like here we have used the Jacob, right? So similar way we will use here the GPT, and then 4 here, and then we what we will do, we will try to do it here. We need to access that particular uh, value of it. Suppose we try to print like this only. Let us try to print. So this GPT-4 is having the values of layers, params and heads. Now we want that params of GPT-4, I want to access that, like what is the value of params inside the GPT-4. So for that, like we will pass one more square bracket, and inside that particular key again of dictionary we need to pass it. Now it is params is showing as 67. So that's how we can access it. And now suppose we want to access for the bird, or the second one. And now what is the param of, suppose what is the value of heads here, and then we print it. So it is 13. Okay, so this how we can have the multiple dictionaries here inside that. So that's how in the real time when we will be working with the generative AI, so we use this configuration, this dictionary is being most used data structure there. Okay, now suppose what else we can do it. Suppose we can change the value also. So for changing the value of that particular, suppose for example, for heads we want to change the value inside this particular key. So for that, what we will be doing it, we will just try to put the value, a new value what we want to change it, simply here. And earlier it was 30, now we wanted to suppose for example 57, and then again we will try to print it here. See, earlier it was 13, now it has been updated to 57. So similar way we can easily change that particular value using the key, and we can easily change the value. So that is one part. Now the next example on this dictionary part only. Now what we will doing it, we are defining a new dictionary, and we will try to explore the new value or new other operations of that particular dictionary. So we will be taking this dictionary, the basic one, so we can easily apply the operations, and I can show you. So Jacob, John, and these were the key value pairs. Now we want to apply the operations from dt dot. So you can easily see we are having different methods. So we will try to use, suppose for example, we will try to use dt dot update here. And for that particular, what we will try to do it, we will try to suppose for example, we will be updating the value of den. And for updating the value of den, we are trying to update from 2 to 10 here, and then we will try to print that particular dictionary. So from that this way we can easily update the value of that particular key using the update method of the dictionary. And other thing is that for example, this den is doesn't exist, suppose for example, you can say, and Jacob, John, den is there. Now we want to add one more element. So this update operation will, if this particular key doesn't exist, so it will add also this George will also be added inside this existing dictionary. See here, Jacob, John, 10, and then we have the George with the 10 value. So this how we can have the update method. And now what else we can do? We will try to dt dot, and we will try to pop that particular value. We need to try to pop it from the dictionary. For example, we pop the value for 10. So this whole key value should be removed. Let us check what happens. See here, 10 has been removed from this dictionary. And apart from this, like what else we have? dt dot, dt dot values are there, right? So now we can have dt dot, here we need to print it, dt dot keys. Then this will print all the keys, then print dt dot values. Now let us run. So this should print the keys, and this should print all the values, and then should not come. And Jacob, John, and George will be there in the keys, and in values we will be having 0, 1, 2. Let us see. See here. So dictionary keys are Jacob, John, George, and dictionary values are 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 10. And if we want to check that particular, as we have checked in list, set, and tuple also, so we can easily pass type dt. See here. So dt is of type of the dictionary type. So this how we can perform the update, pop, and check the keys and values. And how we can access it in dictionary, just remember it, we directly can't access with the help of the index. We need to pass that particular key, and then only we can access that values. Now we will test more methods. As you can see in dt, there was an items method. So how we can call it? So for calling it, we will be using one for each for loop here, basically not for each. So for key dot values, it is already been showing, so I'm just tabbing it. So key value, and in dt dot items, this particular method we need to call it. If you see it, so it will be there. So your items is there, so that will be calling it, and we will be passing this bracket. And here we will do some changes here. We want our own modification. Just try to just have a understand. We'll be discussing this thing later on, this for loop and everything here. Okay, so here what we will be doing it, suppose key and value it is showing. Okay, it is okay. So key is there. Now we will be passing some arrow way, and then we will try to, using for loop, it will be printed in one by one. So basically we are iterating it using the for loop. Okay, now let us print this and check what is being there. See here. So in Jacob is having 0, John is having 1, George is having 10. These three things are coming with the help of the for loops. So in Python we write this way only. Like in Java we uses the semicolon and everything we mention inside the for loop, but in Python we write it in the range of or something like that. So here we write the for, use the for loop in this way, like for key value in dt.items for dictionary one, so that we can easily iterate it. So that is one thing. And apart from this, suppose for example we have one list dictionary and we want to copy it into some another dictionary. Let us take a new example here. For example, we have one model, and one more thing, like I forgot that variable name definition, how we provided it. So for variable name definition, we it should be having the this underscore is being allowed, or apart from this, like I will create another session on that so that it will be very easy for you. When I will cover the data types, so there I will provide the or the what are the valid ways for creating the variable names, because some variable names if you are defining it uppercase letters, and so that will it will throw the error there only. So, for example, we are defining one dictionary here, and it is having the string as the key, and the values are the integer ones. Okay, and then we have the units. Then we have, suppose for example, we have, and this can also we can keep it. Okay. Now so this dictionary is name as model params. And then apart from this, like what else we can do it, so we can have the copy into we want to copy this dictionary into some another dictionary. So for that we will be using shared params, and then we have the model params. And then what we will try to do, we'll try to print it first. So for example, shared params. And now let us check what is being shown here. See here, so this whole dictionary of model params has been successfully copied to shared params, and when we are trying to print it, so it is showing it each and everything. But there is a problem in it. For example, we try to do the some changes inside the model params or shared params only. Any way you can check it. We do the shared params layers equals to it. Earlier it was 20 or 24. Now we have done or increased to 100, and now will try to print the both that model params and shared params. For comment part, we, as I mentioned, we have the hash. So we just press the hash key and it will be commented. And now we will try to run it. See here, both that shared params and model param, both the dictionaries are having the updated values as 100. But if you see here, we have just updated the shared params as 100. But why with this model params has been updated? Because both are pointing internally to the same reference. These are the references, and the this dictionary, the whole we have created inside it, these are the objects. Just remember in the Python, that each and everything in the Python is having the object. Python works on object only, and these model params are the variables which you are defining it. This dt, this pipeline config ds, these are all the differences. These all are references to that particular, pointing to that objects inside the memory. So this how it works. So both shared and model params are pointing to the same memory. Now, but as I mentioned, if you are modifying in any of that, so other one is also affected. But that is not the use case. Like in the real scenario, we need to create the copy of one dictionary to another one, right? So what we can do, we can have model params dot copy. So now shared params, if you try to do the changes, so model params should not be affected. Let us see. See here, model params is now 24. Only shared params we have changed, so shared params layer is changed. So this is the best way for creating the copies. Okay, that's it. I think we have covered major of the examples, basic how we can access it. As of now, like this basic part is enough for you. as soon as we reaches or go on into the deep sessions of the Python, so there we will discuss more matters of the dictionary here. Okay, but guys, if you are new also Python, or if you're an experienced person, or you know the Python, so then also at least try to watch it, just try to have a revisit on this video. And that's it, like we will be back with another session on the data structures in Python, and on the variable storage, and how variables are defined here, variable rules are defined in the inside the Python. So as of now, in these three sessions we have covered set, list, tuple, and along with the dictionary. Okay, yeah, that's it from my side. And if you have any suggestions, any feedback, please reach me in the comments, and please like, share, and subscribe my channel. Yeah, thanks, bye.
So guys, today we are discussing in this session like what are data types in Python. We have already discussed like list, set, tuple, and dictionary. These data types we have already covered in our last lecture. Okay. So today what we will discuss, like apart from this, there are some other data types also. So in numeric we are having the integer, complex number, and float. Okay. Then apart from this we have the boolean data type, which is the true or false. Then list, set, tuple, dictionary we have already discussed. Then in sequence type it comes the string, list, and tuple. Okay. And all the types, if you want to check whether that particular variable or the reference variable holds which data type, so we can check it with the help of the type variable. Type function is there, through that we can easily check it. Now if we check it, what happened? Here it is now. So for example, data type we have studied, integer is there, so this is integer. Okay, then we have discussed, this is what it is. This is the float data type. Okay, in the numeric one. Apart from this, there is a third data type, which is the complex data type or complex number you have studied in the maths. That is the I, like 1 plus I 2, or 1 plus 2 I, or 1 plus 3 I. So instead of I, it works with J. In Python, it has the J. So this will be the 1 plus 4J. So this is the complex data types. If I print of type A, type B, and type C. So what should be? This should be integer, this should be float, and this should be complex. See here, class integer, class float, and class complex. So these are the data types. Similarly, we are having the string one also, we have already discussed. Uh, Suppose this is okay, and now we will add one more type here and just run it. See here, 5 is integer, 3.5 float, then 1 plus 4j complex, and class str, that is a stable dragon one. Okay, so these we have covered. Now we will move to what else it is left here. If I see, so we have covered list, integer, complex number, float. Boolean one is left. So for boolean, how we can check it? So for boolean, is that true or false? We need to check it, right? For example, here is A is there and B is there. Okay. So is B is greater than A? We will try to print that. B is greater than A. Let's see what happened. Say because 3.5 is not greater than 5, right? So it will return as, is B less than A? True. Yeah, 3.5 is less than 5. Now there is a scenario like another concept comes here, the typecasting, which in Java also we have learned about it. Now here also typecasting, how it happens here. For example, k is a variable and b equals to 3.5, which is the float. Now we want the integer value of that. So integer, and in bracket we need to pass the b here, and now print the k value. See here, it is coming 3. So it has been typecasted from 3.5 to 3 only. Okay. So this is how it works. Similarly, you want to typecast into float, so you need to pass the float here. And then more thing, if I tell you, is it. For example, this you have defined. as a boolean. Now let us check the type of it. So it is boolean. Similarly, we have the list we have already discussed. Geeks. Okay. Then we have having the for geeks. Then we are having the 3. Then we are having the 4. Now we will print to this list. It is list. Okay. Now we will type here print. Now we will print the list values. So this how it works. We have stored the similarly for the list also is there. Then we are having the tuple is there, which is the immutable one. Then we are having the dictionary for the key values one. So these are the data types in that. Just remember in numeric we are having the integer, float and complex number, then dictionary, then boolean, then set, and in sequence type string, list and tuples are there. So string we have seen, list we have saw, tuple we have saw. Then we are having boolean data type, that also we have seen. This if else I will cover in the next lecture. Then we are having the set data type, and loop also will cover in the next lecture. Yeah, that's pretty much. So we are having these types of data types, and you can perform various operations. You can if you go with the for example, if you want to try to print the reverse one, so then what will happen? For example, you want to print the reverse order of the list, reverse element, reverse or the last element. So you just need to mention -1 here. See here 4 is coming. Now third element from the last. So this from the last you need to put the minus sign. So yeah, these are the data types. You can have the boolean one, you can have the integer, float, and apart from the strings are there, list, set, tuple, and dictionaries are there. Yeah, okay, that's pretty much in this lecture. And guys, if you haven't like, share, subscribe my channel, please like, share, subscribe, and hope you like the video. And make sure if you have any doubts, please reach me in the comments for any feedback suggestions. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so now the next topic comes, how we can take the input from the user. As of now, like we are passing the some hard coded values, and then we are performing the operations. Now how we can take the input from the user, that we need to take care. So how we can take it, for example, uh, we have the a equals to 7 we are defining, for example, but now we need to take the input from the user. So there is an input function in Python. Then b equals to input function in Python. C equals to int of a, int of b it is showing, but I will do a plus b. I will tell you what needs to be done there. Then print c. So 4, then 5, but it is showing 45. We are performing the uh, uh, add operation. Why is it? Reads, just listen carefully, this input function reads a string from the standard input, and it also returns the output or also as a string. So that's why it is doing the concatenation instead of adding one. Okay, so that what needs to be done here, we need to typecast it, so that the values which are coming as the input as a string, we need to convert it to integer. Now we will run this. What happened? Somehow it got stuck. Okay, just a moment. Okay, we are not giving the input, so how it will work? 4, 5. See here, it has been added as 9. So this how you can take the input, but now we will make it as more meaningful. enter the first number so that user will be properly shown the messages for entering it. Enter the first number, that is 6 suppose, then second number 7. On adding it becomes 13. So this how you can take the input, and as I mentioned, we need to typecast to integer so that it can convert from string to integer, and it can able to add it. Okay, so this way, using input function, you can take the input. Yeah guys, so in the last lecture we have covered the data types, we have covered the variable storage, and apart from this, like we have covered the basic installation of Python, our first program of swapping the two variables. So this till now, this much we have covered. Now we will be covering the operators in Pythons. Like in the Java we have the operators, similar way we have the operators in Python also. For example, if I say a equals to 10 and b equals to 5, okay, now what we can perform, we can perform print. It is already given, okay, it is not showing hint. Print a plus b, then what else we can do, print a minus b, print a into b, multiply 1, then print a divided by b, a modulus b, a exponential of power of b, then a floor, double division means a floor of the b. So but there is a thing in the arithmetic operators in the Python, that when we do the divide, so it returns the float integer or the float value as a resultant. But when we do the floor, when we do the floor operator, when we use it between the like two values, so it will return the integer one. So that is the major difference. Just try to remember it when we try to do the programming using the Python. Let us run this. See here, 10 plus 5 15, then 10 minus 5 5, 10 into 5 50, 10 divided by 5 2.0, that is the float one, which I already told that on division it will return the float one. Then what else we have then 10 modulus 5, so it will be 0, as the modulus operator returns the remainder one. Okay, then apart from this, 10 to the power of 5, so it will return the this integer value. Then apart from this, 10 floor of 5, so it will return 2, but it will return the integer value, it will not return the similar value as the float one. Just remember this. Okay, so the arithmetic operators are done now. Okay, so till now we have discussed many things in Python, like how we can take the user input, uh, how the function works, how we can define our own functions. We have discussed some about how we can import the module, how we can use the predefined functions. So these things are discussed as of now. Okay, now there are some conditional statements. If you have studied C or Java, or if you haven't studied also, but there are some condition, right? If this condition is not true, so that condition can be true. Second condition. So how we can what is the scope of using this conditional statement? So we need to use it in such a way that if either of the condition becomes true, so it should be return the output. So that is the main motive behind it. So for conditional statements, we are having the if and else is there, and other condition statements are there. But as of now, like in this video, we will try to cover if else, nested if else, like similar way we have in Java. So that way we will try to cover. Okay. So how we can write the we have already written one simple basic program using if and else. If you are aware, if you have watched previous my sessions, so in that how we can write it. For example, we have taken the input from a number. Now you want we wanted that that particular number should be either even or odd. How we can test it? We will write it because this is giving the suggestions, that is good, but you should be having the practice of writing the code. That's much better. Just take it properly. The if block starts, it's below that this function is being called, and once this block is being completed, so else statement will start from the new line without any space. Number is odd. Okay, now we will just need to enter the number. Now we will run this. Enter the number. For example, we have entered 14. What has happened? What is wrong here? Why it is not working? Number is even, that is the not a big mistake. Something is wrong here. So that's why it is not working. A modulus 2 we are doing it. See here, this is the important thing, that if you missed anything inside this any indentation or something like that, basic mistake, so a program will not work here. Not all arguments converted during formatting, during string formatting. If you able to see the error, so it is showing you that not all arguments converted during string formatting. So what does this error says? As I mentioned earlier, this input function converts or takes the input from the user and returns the as a string. It takes it and it returns the output as a string only. Okay, but we are performing the integer variant. So what we need to do, we need to write one more step. A equals to int of a. Now we need to run it. 14, number is even. Again run it. 29, number is odd. Okay, so we have written the program of even and odd by taking the input from the user using the input function. Okay, now other thing, if and else we have covered, right? Now we need to cover nested if or nested if else. So firstly we will try to cover the nested if. So how nested if we can use here? For example, there is a one more variable for k is equals to what we can suggest, that k is equals to 50. We have taken the value. So inside this if only, we will take one more if statement. Inside this statement, we are writing just listen very carefully, that below the print only we are writing it, right? If k is less than, is greater than or equal to 50, then print k is greater than or equal to 50. Just a basic code I have written it. See here, we have missed one thing, so that's why what we have missed, we have missed the colon here. Now it depends on the number which the user has passed. If the user passed the even number, so we can get one thing. So 16, if we have passed it, so number is even, then it is going, if k is greater than equal to 50, so k is greater than or equal to 50 is the condition 2, so it is printing it. Now if we want to trying to debug, okay, so these are the breakpoints. Just for a more understanding, I am taking the debug. Maybe most of you already know about how to debug. Just click on the debug one. Then 18 it is taken. Now it will convert or typecast to integer. So a is 18, you can see, k is 50. Now if 18 is even, it has true, so number is even, it is going. K is equal to or greater than 50, so yeah, so it will print that also. So this, that much, that is simple. For your understanding, I have just taken it. Now one more thing we will do. If else is covered, nested if is covered. Now nested if else. For example, there was one more condition, that either the number will be even, either will be odd, or we will write another code that will be much easier to explain. X equals to input, just call it, enter the number. X equals to int x. This we are not required, we will do something else here. Just trying to explain you how if else work here. So if x equal 1, print x is 1, print x is not 1. Okay, something like that I am trying it. So this is simple if and else. If x user passes as 1, so it will be output will be x is 1. If the user passes any other number, so x is not 1. So similarly, we wanted more conditions, like if x equals to 2 or something like that. So for that in Java we are using the else if. Here it is elif. Just few more characters have been replaced here. Elif x equals to 2, x is 2. So here, just a basic program I've written. If x equals to 1, so x is 1. X equals to 2, so x is 2. Elif. Else if that is. Elif x equals to 3, so x is 3. Else otherwise, if none of the condition is true, so x is not 1, 2, 3. We will simply run this program. We will try to comment it out. Control slash forward slash, not forward, sorry, backward slash. Okay, now we will run this so that only just this program runs. Enter the number it is asking. Okay, so just listen carefully. We have taken the output input. So how we will be taking it? For example, if we are passing the x equals to 3, so x is 3 is coming. Okay, this is how simple it is, very much. If we are passing any other number, 10 we are passing it. See here, x is not 1, 2, 3. So this how elif works. Now we will be moving to another conditional statements in the next lecture. Till that, try to practice it, and hope you enjoy, or hope you learn a lot from this lecture. Okay, yeah, thanks, bye. Yeah guys, so today we'll be discussing about functions in Python. You have must have studied the functions in Java, functions in C. So what are functions? So here also, if you are able to see this print method, this is the function only. And apart from this, the length of the string which we have found out, the length of the string, what is the how many what is the length of that particular string, so that is also the function. Okay, so what are functions? So functions we use is where we have the that particular piece of code or that particular lines of code which needs to be repeated multiple time by calling it. And or the major achievement, you can say that we achieve it, the code reusability using the functions. So that are functions. So how we'll be learning it? So we'll be using the PyCharm here. not going each and everything I'm not doing here in collab. We will be doing it to the PyCharm. As in PyCharm we can easily create some project also, so that's why I'm going with the PyCharm now, from now onwards. Yeah, so in PyCharm, it is similar. If you haven't downloaded, just download the PyCharm, and most of you guys already have the license for this PyCharm. So just if you have enabled it, so you it will very much helpful, because it has the AI assistant also here, which can help with, you can select the model as Claude or something like that, which can help you in writing the code also. And apart from this, this is the ultimate version of the PyCharm, so you will get the most of the features of the PyCharm. So once you have downloaded, just create any project, or choose an existing project. Then by default it will create main.py, that is the Python file by default. And if you try to run the program here, print hello world, so what will be running it? See here, this hello world is being printed. Now we will try to define the function. Like for defining the function, as I have mentioned, it is a lines of piece of code which being repeated by calling the multiple times, and it will give the different output as per the input of the user requirement. So that's why function required. So what we will be doing it, we will define one function. For defining the function, we are having the def keyword. Def, then it is already showing the suggesting me def main, so just click on it. But we will not keep the name as main. We will be defining the function for adding the two variables. So for that, what we'll be doing it, define add, and then what we'll be doing it, we'll be we'll be defining two variables, 8 comma 4 equals to, semicolon is not required. But if you'll give, it will not give the error. Then this is the indentation. If you able to see in beside add, when I just clicked on the enter, so it a is coming here. If I keep the a here, so the program will not run and it will throw the error. Indentation is very important. Most of the IDE it is being managed, as you can see when I clicked enter here, so it has already taken a space, and then after that we are able to write it. Then c equals to a plus b, then print c. Now we will simply call this function. Okay, save it and run it. Two ways are there: either you run it via this terminal, or either Python and the file name you can run it, or either you can just click on this and it will choose the current file. And if you are able to see, it is being showing you the 9. But here is the constraint is there, that you are passing the input from your side. Okay, but now we wanted that user should pass the input. Like it should not be that we are finding the 4 plus 5 only. User can pass 10 plus 20, so it should give the resultant as 30. Your function should be generic. So how you can define the function as generic? We need to keep two more variables here, x comma y, and then x we are keeping here just to give the assignment of the values. And here in add we will pass the 30 comma 20. Now if we run it, see here 50. Similarly again you can call this function multiple times, then again, then again. Okay, so it will give different values as per the user input has been passed: 50, 30, 40, 20. So this is the benefit of function, that the particular piece of code is being repeated multiple times. But now here again one more thing is there, that suppose user doesn't want to print here, user wants the value here just, or user want to do further operations on that. So how we can do it? So we can just, instead of printing here, we will return it. Return C. Okay, and here we will print it, if you want to print it, or if you want to store it, or you want to perform some operation. So that also is also possible. Something we have messed up. Yeah, bracket is being missing. See here, so it is coming as 50. So this how you can define the functions, and this how the functions work in Python. Now we will write one more code here. We will write a simple code using if and else, which I will be teaching you in my next video. Even odd is there, and we will define as x, and it is already showing the code, but you should not try to write you from your side. What is doing there? Okay, so x we are will be passing it. If x modulus 2 is equals to 0, so it will return even, else otherwise it will return odd. Now we will test this. How we can test this? Even odd, just you need to call that particular method function. 30 is an even or odd, it will show you. Then similarly 27. So one is even, one is odd. See here, even odd. So simple if is written. You do not need to write the bracket like the Java here, and curly braces is also not needed here. Simple way, just indentation is very important here. If you see beside the function, if is coming, then in beside if, after the condition or below the condition, return statement is there. So this proper indentation is there. Most of the IDs already support. If it doesn't support, that we need to take care of it. So this is the even odd function, and this is the add function. So it can be the major advantage of using the function is it achieves the code reusability. Yeah, that's pretty much in this video. Yeah, hope you like the video. So till now we have covered the functions, like what are functions, how we define the function, simple basic function we have defined, what is the major purpose of defining the function. That's pretty much we have covered. Now we will be moving one step ahead, and today in this session we will be talking about modules, if you are not aware about. And before that, like guys, if you haven't liked, share, subscribe my channel, please like, share, subscribe, and mention the feedback about the video, how you like it, or what can be better in that video. So I will respond the comment as soon as I get the time, and make sure you hide the video also. Yeah, okay. So back to the video. What we are discussing in this video, that what is module. So basic module says inside module we are having a group of functions, and that particular box is called as module. So by importing that module, we are able to call or use that functions. Like print is the function. Then we have this in Java, we have the square root function, power function. So similarly in Python also, there are some predefined functions. So for using them, we have to import the module. Okay, let me clear this. And for using them, we need to import the math. Otherwise, if you don't import, so it will give the error. Now what we can do, for example, we have the c equals to 25, and we need to print math dot square root of c. So square root of 25 will be 5, and we have imported the math module, so that it will be able to do the square root, we are able to access. If and this square root will return the float resultant. For example, if you are not using this import, then what will happen? For example, what we will doing it, we will suppose commenting it out, and now we are trying to call this, remove this math. Should the Python will allow it? No, it is showing here only the compile time error. So that's why we need to import the module, and then apart from for importing the module, once you have imported, then you can easily call that. Now there is another way also for doing this. From math, import sqrt. So now you don't need to write this math as of now. You can directly call the function. See here, 5.0. Now from math we need to import this math is a huge library, you can say, and inside that they are having multiple functions. If I just show you, it is not just showing it. Okay, there are multiple functions once you try to do here inside the math. So square root is done. There is a factorial function also in math. Okay, then there is a okay, firstly cover this. So a equals to Factorial of, we will be finding basic 2. Print factorial of a. Just run this. Something has happened wrong here. What is we are missing? Okay. Okay. So what we are doing it, we are finding the factorial. So factorial of 2, what it will be? 2 into 1. So that will be 2. Now for the factorial of 3, it should be 6, right? My mistake, I was checking wrong. So that's why I was thought that the factorial is not. So 3 into 2 into 1, 6. Now for 7, 5040. Okay. So simply we can call the factorial function, and we can easily, once we have imported, and we can easily, now we are having the shield function also. Just mention it 7 here and just pass the variable here. What does shield function do? So in Java, what does shield function do? It round off. Okay. For example, k equals to 59.6 was there. Okay. And now we need to call the shield function here. So it will be rounding of the value. See, it is rounding the value, and it is telling you 60. Now it was there, suppose for example 59.1. So it was still rounding the value, it is showing you as the 60 only. So that is the way of importing the module and way of using the predefined functions of mathematics. Now for example, you need to we are not sure which functions you will be using, so just use the asterisk or star asterisk here, and it will be all the function, you can directly use it. This you know in Java also. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty much in this site. Okay, so till now we have covered the if else statement, nested if, and then nested if else we have covered. Okay, so now we will be covering the switch statements, because if you have seen this last example what I have taken, this can be easily solved via the switch statement in the Java or C. Okay, but the thing is that the switch statement was not there in Python earlier. They have introduced after some time. So instead of switch, they have kept the name as match statement. So we will keep the name as the, we will create a new class of match, and here we will take the input from the user, enter a number, then we have the match, and as it will be a string, so we will try to typecast it in integer. Then case 1, print 1. Then case 2, print 2. Then case 4, we will try to take at least 5 numbers, not a number between 1 and 4. Okay, and this is the default one. In default we just mentioned underscore here. Okay, so enter a number between 1 and 4. And what we have done, we have called the match statement. Inside that we have converted that string value or typecasted to integer, and then we are writing the cases, case 1, case 2. So if the number is 1, so it will go to the case 1, that is 1. If case 2, then p2, then case 3, then case 3, something like that. If the number is not between 1 to 4, then it will print the not a number between 1 and 4. Let us run this program. Suppose 3, so 3, it is being printed. Again we will try to print it 56, a random number, not a number between 1 and 4. So this how instead of switch statement we have the match statement in Python. Okay, yeah, okay, that's pretty much in this site, in this video. Okay, so in this session today we will be discussing about the loops. So for example, you need to print anything multiple times, like n number of times or millions of times. So you can write manually, but it will take long duration of time, and it will take multiple lines of code and everything. But the same single line needs to be repeated multiple times. Then we have the loops concept inside the Java, C++. But so similar way in Python also we have the loops, and here will be discussing the while and the for loop. Okay, so we will be creating one more demo class of the while loop. And for example, x is initially 1, and then while x is less than or equals to 10, 10 numbers or 10 times we are trying to print this something. Okay, and print these are 10 times repeated, these are 10 times repeated, something like that. Okay, let us try to print it. What is happening? X is continuously trying to print, something is missing, right? It is suggesting also that we haven't increment put the increment one. So x equals to, or x plus 1, or instead of x plus equals to 1, both way we can use either of that. And now it will not run the infinite times, only 10 times. These are 10 times repeated, you can able to see it. Okay, so this way you can use the while loop. Now we have seen the if else and nested if else also, right? So similar here also we will use the, maybe in some program or some code it requires one more loop inside that loop. Okay, so we will use the one more while loop here. While a is less than or equals to 5, print nested statement repeated inside while. A we have not defined. If we keep the a here, so it will be one time, but we need to initialize every time. That as soon as x is getting printed, this statement. So along with that, we want that a also needs to be printed. And the colon is missing. It is showing the error. Now we will run this and let us see. But it is not coming sequentially. I want that along with that. First, these are 10 times repeated. Then we want that nested statement also being printed there. So for that, inside that print method, there is a function. If you're able to see, end function is there, which if you pass this, so that's why it is coming the new line. If you pass slash, and by default it takes. If you pass this empty, so it will try to print to a same line. Let us do that also. As we do not want to print it on the both the places, we will do it. Let us print. What happened? See here. These are 10 times repeated. Nested statement. Nested statement repeated inside while space is not there. So as we have removed all the space in the new line, so just give the pretty much space here so that it should be properly printed. See, these are 10 times repeated, nested repeat coming, but now nested repeated again it is coming, it is still not being formatted. Something is missing. Let us check that also. Okay, so what else we can do? That one outer message will be there, then one inner message I want. Okay, So uh, we can print one more statement as a print as empty. So see here, this is the outer message. These are 10 time repeated. This is coming 10 along with the inner message, which is coming 5 times. Nested statement inside while. So we have called the print method, and then here we are calling the end statement as a empty inside print. I have shown you. Okay. So this how you can print it if you want the more formatting as per the. So this is the while loop. Now we will move to the for loop. Okay, so we have discussed while loop. Now we will discuss with the for loop. And in Python, in Java, we are having for, do, while. But in Python, we are having only the while or for they have only mentioned. So we will cover both the loops here. New Python file for demo. Okay. So now what we need to do it. So for while what it says, if you able to see here, so in while we are taking the number, then we are initializing the number, then we are putting the condition, then we are printing or giving the actual logic we are doing here, and then we are incrementing it. But for the what it says just give it to the how much data you want, or how what collection you want to print, or what list you want to print, and I will do take care of each and everything. If you know about for each loop, so there we don't have any increment in Java, right? So similar way in Python also, we don't have any increment or need to explicitly increment. We don't need to mention here. For loop or for loop will take care each and everything here in Python. For example, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hello. Okay. Now for I in L, and then print I. Say 2, 3, 4, 5. Hello, all the list is printing. Now how we can, so if you're able to see, so we have taken this variable as the initial variable, and that is being printed from this collection or the list which we have defined. Now another one, suppose we want to print 10 numbers. So for I in range 10. Okay. And then print I. Say it just forget to mention that in here in loops the index will start from 0. So 0 to 9 it will be printed. Okay, like we have in Java. So yeah, that's pretty much like we have covered the while loop, we have covered the for loop. And when we will be doing the programmers, then actual or the actual coding or actual testing of your logic and each and everything of writing the syntax will be taken care, like how you are so writing the code there. So that is the main test. This is the basic thing. You can do anything as of now here. You can give any range, so it will take the from the sequence one by one. If you increase the range, so it will take the, suppose if you increase the range to 20, so it will try to print till 19, 0 to 19. So this is how it works. Or if you print to iterate via some collection, so that also you need to mention it for I into that particular collection name. Yeah, that's it in this session.